Namaste, listeners. Come heal yourself. Here we are back again to discuss today about if we can or can't fight fate with Lisa and Edwards, who is a wonderful, wonderful author, actor, award-winning actor, I would say, of 2 Hollywood short films, Riviera and The Road Less Traveled. And her new release is coming up in November, and that's called Now Add Honey, which is a comedy. And more than anything else, she's just such a lovely person who's just living her true self, and anyone who comes in her aura can feel so positive and so uplifted. So let's hear from her if we can really fight fate or not, which is her upcoming book, Can't Fight Fate. Welcome, Lisa. So glad to have you. It's an honor.
So glad to be here.
Thank you so much. So, Lisa, tell us about yourself.
There's so much. Well, I'm a mum. I've got 5 beautiful children.
Yeah.
I've been a talent agent. I was that for 13 years. I had about 1,500 people that I looked after and managed, and
Oh, wow.
controlled their careers and put them on the right path.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I need some counseling from you.
I'm an actress. I'm a screenwriter, and I'm an author now.
So incredible. And, I have to say that I have met so many people, even in person. And with you, I'm yet to meet in person, but, our calls and our Skype calls have, the moment I looked at you, I can just say how authentic you are and how much you are really inspired to share yourself and help people. And, it's like I really, really am so inspired by you.
Oh, thank you. That means such a lot.
No, it's really true. And it's really an honor to have you here. So
Thank you.
So, Lisa, tell us, you have 5 kids, and I'm
Yep.
sure they're lovely like you, and they're just blessed to have you. But what inspired you to be who you are today?
I have always, from a very, very young age, wanted to be an actress and to make Hollywood films.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so that's kind of my driving force and why I've gone on the path I've gone on, I suppose. So there's always many different ways to get to where you're going, and I've taken the scenic journey, I would like to think, being an agent and then sort of becoming an actor and doing that. I got to learn all the behind the scenes ways of doing everything. So it's been eye-opening.
Sorry to interrupt, but just wanted to, find out from you, was that the path that you chose for yourself, in the process of, you just wanted to learn everything about it and then finally move to what you really wanted to do, or things just came along the way and you just went with the flow?
Yeah, I just went with the flow. So I don't think it's the way, if I could choose exactly, I'm going to be this, and this, and I think I would have chosen those things differently. So I had, along my journey, I had things offered to me, and I said yes to those, and that sort of took me on a path that I like to call the scenic route.
That's so beautiful. And yes is a powerful word, right?
Yes. Yes is a very powerful word, and it opens a lot of doors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for me, it opened doors of becoming an agent.
Mm-hmm.
And that I did that to make my children's lives a lot easier and a lot more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It offered money and that sort of thing for us.
Uh-huh.
And when I took that on, I was a single mum and I had 4 kids at the time.
Wow.
Yeah, so that was securing their futures and securing. It was in the realm of what I wanted to do. And yeah, it enabled me to see the other side of how things work. So it's given me greater perspective, and it's given me a greater understanding and a greater appreciation for everyone in the industry.
Wow. So Lisa, I mean, I'm sure, you had this passion to become an actress. So was it frustrating at times, with all these responsibilities around you that, you felt your dream career was delayed, or you felt, this is what is right at the time and I'm going to enjoy it and live it, and as move towards it as life offers to me?
Yeah, it has its ups and downs, and along the way, like being an agent and putting everyone in those positions, like in films and in TV and that sort of thing, it can be hard because that's what I wanted to do. And so I had moments where I would think, why aren't I doing what I want to do? And, I'm not fulfilling my dreams. And it was hard. I won't say that it was always easy. There were periods in life where I was really miserable that I wasn't doing what I was doing, and now, and so that was when I had to make the changes in my own life to make myself happy.
How did you make yourself happy? Because Lisa, we all go through this, right? There are definitely times, and especially I've seen in, women's career, women's life, when they have to sacrifice a lot because family comes first, children comes first, or, financial reasons. And so they're kind of lost and frustrated. So what helped you?
Yeah, so financial reasons for a lot of people is very hard. And, making small changes can help with that. So if you've got like a big dream like I do, all the little small changes along the way hopefully can help you get to where you want to be.
That's right.
I think I told you that I would love to live in LA, and that's my dream, but it's just not been possible with my kids going through school and my husband's work and that sort of thing. So, eventually he knows that I'd like to live in LA, and I think that's a few years off yet, maybe 2 or 3, I'm hoping. So, but, these things can also change in the blink of an eye. So tomorrow something might happen, my book might get picked up to be a movie, and all of that changes. So, and, we re-evaluate where we're going.
So this is your approach to life, just open yourself completely.
Yeah.
We would love to hear from you.
So, definitely I believe you need to be open to everything, every possibility, and, say yes.
Say yes.
Say yes. And it's like, within reason. So if you're going to get yourself in trouble, then say no.
So that discretion is important.
Yeah, definitely. But I would say, try and say yes more often than you say no.
And I guess, it empowers you, right? It inspires you.
Yeah, yes is a powerful word because it can take you on a journey that you never believed was possible.
Right. Yeah.
it can open your mind and your eyes to things that you've never seen before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, the spontaneity of yes just means that you go on an adventure.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You know, these sound like simple words, but they have such a deep truth.
They do, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. That's so beautiful. And I mean, of course, along the way you discovered you could be so much more and you could do so many more things, right? And not just what you started with, right? Dreaming about.
Exactly. It was kind of crazy that, you know, you dream of being just an actress, but there's so many paths to get to that.
Mm-hmm.
And you can be so much more than
Yeah.
just being that. Like, I can be the producer of a film and I can write that film and I can also act in it. So, you know, I've just opened up all the possibilities, and,
Yeah.
you know, it's an artistic field and I love working in it.
That's so awesome. And we will take a short break, but after the break, you know, we'll talk to Lisa about the author side first. So please stay tuned with us.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Imagine receiving healing, vibration-raising energy as you listen to the radio. Energy that flows effortlessly to you. Imagine exploring all things metaphysical, sharing in an ongoing adventure. Join me, Karen Smoot, along with my co-hosts Lisa Victorson and Wendy Weber for Immersion into Source every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on OM Radio.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
The truth is, you can't change the world if you're broke. I know, I've tried. Isn't it time you turned your life's calling into a profitable, freedom-based business? I'm Michelle Barr. Join me every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern for Sacred Success.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
And we are back. Welcome back, Lisa. Welcome back,
Thank
listeners. So as a little girl, you wanted to be an actress, right?
I did.
So how did this beautiful, inspiring book came along?
So the book, basically, it started as a screenplay. It started, I went to a psychic when I was 21 and I had a reading, and that reading for some reason just stuck with me, and I've carried it throughout life, and it was the reading of a perfect man. And
So this is your own story in a way.
It's got elements of my own story.
Yeah.
Weaved throughout.
Yeah.
So, and I found that the psychic's words whenever I was going through a relationship breakup or, unsure of where I was going, that psychic's words would come back to me. And I would think, oh, maybe it's possible that this perfect man exists and I can find him. And then I started talking to people about my own experiences with psychics and found that a lot of women in particular had similar experiences.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought, well, this could make a great book because some of the experiences these women had were funny and some of the experiences that I had were funny, and I could weave these into a book and make people laugh and make them smile and try and open them up to the possibilities that, they can change their life just by making one small little change every day.
Yeah, no, I mean, we all go through this, and being a psychic, I know, and this is always my message, or, when I'm having discussion with people as well, I just tell them, this is what is being channeled right now. It doesn't mean, this is your ultimate truth or destiny. You have the power. And this is just right in this moment. This is not like, it's just written for you. So, I really appreciate you sharing your experiences, and, you know that, but I think it's amazing how many of us believe so deeply in astrology, horoscope, psychics, as if we don't have any control over our lives. And I'm not saying these are not true. These are true. But you tell us, like, from your experience and what you think about it, how much truth is there and how much is destiny and how much is free will?
Okay, so I like to think of life as a jigsaw puzzle. So this is my simplified way of explaining it to people. And, astrologers and psychics and all of those people, they can see your pieces of your puzzle. So how I think the completed puzzle is your final destiny, and the pieces and your choices along the way.
Right.
So if we think of fate and destiny in the same way, when we're completing the edges, that can show you your way so you can find where you're going. And the missing pieces are your life choices. So if you think of a life choice that goes completely wrong, maybe it's a piece of the puzzle that didn't actually fit. So, the past is a completed puzzle, and we can clearly see that. So when you've completed a puzzle, you can see that picture. It's completed. It's sitting in front of you.
Right.
And then the present pieces are the ones that you're working on right now, and you're piecing those together. And then the future is the jumbled mess to the side, and they're all waiting to be pieced together. And you can't see all of those pieces because some of them are hidden and they're underneath the other pieces, and they're just waiting to be found. So, maybe that's what the psychics see. They can see into that jumbled mess and, piece those pieces together for you and give you a little bit of direction.
That's so beautifully described, Lisa.
I thought about that for a long time.
Yeah. No, that's wonderful. I mean, this is coming from someone, as you can see, who has really lived life, really felt life, and having read the book, like, I couldn't move once I started the book until I finished it. It's that captivating. It's your own story. So, I would really, really encourage, definitely go ahead and look into Lisa's book. And I was looking at your Facebook page yesterday, Lisa. You have 3 free chapters to share with everyone.
I do. They're available on Amazon. They've uploaded a preview on there, and it's got the foreword and the first 3 chapters. So you get a general idea of the start of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives you sort of the way that she's going towards the psychic and how she gets there.
Yeah. No, I mean, as I said, it's our own story, and it's been said in such a beautiful and profound way, because when I was reading it, I could totally relate with Shobhan. It's like, it's like how we feel, how we confuse our own selves, and we don't move, get stuck. It's so, you have just, captured it all. And honestly, I really couldn't keep down the book. And so sharing from my experience, I know you will love it. Definitely check it out on Amazon or Lisa's Facebook page. It's facebook.com/Lisa and Edwards author. And that's where you can also learn more about her and her website, lisaandedwards.com, and about the book on can'tfightfate.com. So definitely check it out, because it's something that you'll relate with so much, and there is a message in it. So thank you so much, Lisa.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm so happy that a few people, not everyone, is picking up the message, but I'm sure the messages I've put throughout the book will connect with the right people.
I think so. So, I mean, as we are going along with the subject of destiny, from your own life experiences, I know you described in a beautiful way about, this life puzzle, and that's great. So along the way, as we are making the puzzle or building the puzzle, we realize, whenever we put in the wrong pieces. So whenever we realize it, we try to change, we look for the right pieces, right? So
Yeah.
I think that's how the life should be seen as. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be learning along the way, right?
Yeah, definitely. Mistakes are valuable lessons in life, and I've made so many, and my biggest lessons come from making mistakes, and it just, mistakes mean I'm trying. Mistakes mean I'm doing something, and yeah, they're great.
Yeah. So tell us more about the book, Lisa. Like, maybe you can share with us your favorite parts and how the book got developed along the way.
I've got a few favorite parts in there. Like Nikki, I love her because she's a strong woman, but she's very vulnerable, and she has a lot of sort of quirks, you would say. She's a germaphobe. She's very clumsy. And, pretty much the only thing that's going really well in her life is her job.
Right.
So everything else is kind of falling apart around her. And she doesn't sort of get down too much. She's a very positive person and sort of moves on with life.
And so many of us do.
Yeah, and I think that's what I'm trying to tell people. It's like, if you're not happy, change it, and then you can be happy. And that's kind of what she does. She's stuck in a relationship where she made some choices when she was younger because, she thought that this man could provide for her, and it really didn't make her happy. So moving away and following his dreams was not her life goal. It was his life goal. And I think when you're in a relationship, you both need to be able to follow your dreams, and that's what keeps two people together. Like,
right.
Yeah, both having dreams and aspirations and working on those.
And I think also, so we all have, I think, among our experiences, there are some experiences that pull us down or stay stuck, in our memory. And but I think it's like everyone in their lives at some point have gone through some bad experiences. But isn't it necessary to face our fears and move on rather than, just stay stuck with it? Or, just...
Yeah, I was actually talking to my mum the other day. She was a bit down, and she was looking back at life and saying, "Oh, look at all the mistakes I've made." And I turned it around and I said, "Well, look at all the lessons you've learned."
Aww.
And look at where you are now. And, as people, we all tend to focus on this negative, and we need to start focusing on the positive in the people we are and the people around us. Because the default setting, it seems to be, is negative.
Yeah. No, I think, and I think the beautiful part of the story is also how she picks her up towards the end, right? And
yes.
Yeah, I mean, such a courageous move after, being a public mess, a mess publicly. And that was so courageous and brave. So that was very inspiring too in the story.
Yeah. She just gets herself into an awful mess, definitely.
And we all do, at some point of life.
Oh,
And
definitely. and the key is to just keep moving.
Yeah, totally. And we'll continue our discussion after a very short break. So please stay tuned.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hi, this is Angela Levesque, host of Entanglement Radio. Join me Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations with visionaries in spiritual science and conscious healing. Entanglement Radio, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. Transcendent talk for the conscious mind.
The number one reason girls drop out of school in sub-Saharan Africa is lack of access to feminine hygiene products. The Pads for Schoolgirls Project, an outreach of Humanity Healing International, is changing this paradigm by setting up sewing programs at schools, teaching girls a vocational skill, while producing the reusable pads that help keep them attending classes. The girls pay it forward by making and giving pad kits to other girls in need. To learn more, visit humanityhealing.org. Humanity Healing is where your heart is. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Do you have time to read that inspiring book or that blog post you've been meaning to get to? In your busy world, how do you improve yourself and keep your life going? I'm Lisa Kay, and my Between Heaven and Earth radio show can transform your life just by listening. Be uplifted with inspiring topics, positive stories, and ideas that really work. Between Heaven and Earth radio is conscious living for your soul, every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome, Lisa.
Hi.
Great. So, so we were talking about Nikki and how finally she got it all together. Just share the message you are trying to convey through that character.
So the message with Nikki is basically, if you're not happy with your life, change it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, nothing is ever final. So, you can always go back, you can go forwards, and you can revisit things and change them and try and make them right.
Right.
And that's kind of what she does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's inspiring. It's like never ever in our life it's over, right? We can always restart. We can always, put things back together.
Exactly.
No matter what happens.
Yeah, no matter how bad you think life is at this very moment, it can always get better.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
So it can sometimes get worse. But it can always get better.
Yeah, I mean, that's temporary. It's like never ever your life is just finished. It's over. It's like you have to give yourself a chance.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the characters in there, Siobhan, her best friend, she's a bit of a crazy lady, and she gets herself into a lot of trouble throughout the book.
Yeah,
and she's just one of these people that takes it in her stride, and she's really publicly humiliated in the story, and she comes out and she's okay. She faces the world and she moves on with her life.
Right. Yeah. And that's that's definitely, you need a lot of courage to do that.
Yes.
Right. So, how, it's like we all are made differently, right?
Yeah.
And we all take and process experiences very differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you have a message for, for a lot of us who feel so depressed and so down at that moment? How can they help themselves? How to lift themselves up?
It's a hard thing to do when you get yourself into such a rut and you're feeling really stuck or feeling like you can't sort of go anywhere. It's you've got to find people that can help you, people that can sort of move you forward out of that, and or even just read, get onto the internet. There's so many self-help websites, and Google what you're feeling, and somebody somewhere has been in that situation, and they're going to have words of wisdom for you that may help you move forward.
So you have to make an effort to get out of your shell, and just, it's like, unless we help ourselves, we cannot really receive the help. We have to be open to receiving it. So
you definitely have to be open to receiving it, and it's nobody can really do that except for you. It's like nobody can change your thoughts except for you. Nobody can change your feelings except for you, and nobody can make the choices in your life except for you.
How true that is. So, we all go through those kind of life situations or experiences. Have you felt stuck ever in your life to that extent?
Many times. Many times.
Yeah.
I'm actually married for the third time now.
Yeah.
And the first marriage, I was very young, and I gave my choices to my mother, and I essentially didn't listen to my own feelings, and that was a big lesson for me. It was, listen to what your heart says, listen to how you're feeling inside, and go with that. If you've got a knot in your stomach that's saying don't do it, don't do it.
Listen
Just
to yourself.
Go with that gut feeling, because it is really, yes, the message that your body's giving you. Listen to your mind. Listen to how you're feeling. And, you know, that's got to be a big thing that I've learnt along the way.
Mm-hmm.
So, and, you know, if you're really not happy doing something, and, you know, for financial reasons, if you can't change it straight away, make a small conscious effort every day to get on the path that you want to be on.
I think that is very, very important. I think it's the depression sinks in when you are not even willing to take a step.
Yes, definitely. I think if you feel so stuck and you can't even see a way forward, I think that's when depression starts to sink in. So you've got to start before that. You've got to start searching for the answers and searching for the help that you need before you get to that point. And it's a hard thing. It's a really hard thing to know when that point is and when you need to start searching.
But isn't it beautiful once you start that? Once you know, I've seen even that small step, a very small step that we take to get ourselves out of that is definitely makes a difference, right?
Oh, definitely. I found that when I was probably about 10 years into being an agent, and I did that for 13 years, and I made the decision when I was feeling quite down and everyone else was doing what I wanted to be doing. And, you know, being an agent, you really can't sort of start putting yourself into the work, and it's really hard. Because the actors all think that you're taking their work even though they might be a male, and you're really not taking their work. But it's sort of a fine line to tread. So I made that decision that I was going to sell my business, but
such a big decision.
It was a big, massive decision, because it meant that I was trusting that I would have an income post selling the business, that I'd be able to pay my bills and survive, and just with my abilities to basically entertain people through books and acting. And so it was basically trusting in my abilities, and then putting it out there to the universe that the right person would buy my agency and look after all the actors that I had spent so many years like building up their careers and doing all of that. And those people were very important to me as well.
Right.
So it was a big conundrum that I was facing, and it took nearly 3 years to find that right person. And
wow.
Yeah, during that time, I felt so incredibly stuck, like my dreams and my hopes and what I wanted for myself were just not going to come true.
Yeah, but you still kept moving during those 3 years.
Yeah, during those 3 years, I spent the time doing courses and, you know, moving towards being the best me I could be when I was out on my own and not having, you know, a weekly wage coming in, and just trusting that I could pay my bills, essentially.
Yeah. And I mean, you never lost your trust in yourself and the universe.
Yeah.
You knew when the right time comes, it will all happen. And seems like, you know, in spite of all the frustrations, all that was happening, you still stuck onto that faith.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to have. You need to have a faith that your destiny is there and it awaits and you can have it.
Mm-hmm. But you were not just sitting and waiting for that to happen. Along the
No.
way, you were enriching yourself and taking every action that you could to move towards it. There's a difference.
Yeah, definitely. So that I'm a big believer in the law of attraction, but with the law of attraction, you need to be acting towards your dreams. You can't just wish that something would happen. You need to be actually acting on and completing those dreams and making them possible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very strong point that you made. I have seen like a lot of us definitely believe in our dreams and the universe and law of attraction, but what is missing is the action.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
So that is very important, even if there are failures along the way.
But like I said earlier, the failures are what you learn from. The failures are what, the next time you're doing something and that same thing happens, you know that you're not going to do it that way. You're going to change your direction. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, at least you're still doing something. You're still acting on your dreams and your hopes.
Mm-hmm. So we have... Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, we have to keep learning from those mistakes and move on.
Yes.
And we'll continue the discussion after a short break.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Do you want to be a better communicator? Do you want to better connect with the important people in your life? Do you want to enrich your relationships? If so, join me, Matthew Cooper, on the Positive Control System Show every Wednesday evening at 11 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on OMTimes Radio. I'll meet you there.
Are you trying to get from point A to point B and need a little advice? Connect with the counselors at OMTimes Advisors. Whether you're looking for a life coach or a spiritual intuitive, the advisors participating at advisors.omtimes.com were carefully chosen based on their gifts, skills, and professionalism. OMTimes Advisors, connecting you with the best advisors in the business. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
If you remember living fearlessly, joyfully, and in a world filled with adventure, happiness, pleasure, and unbridled living, then this show is for you. Join me, Dame Nicole Brandon, as I bring you the world's top experts in wealth, creativity, flow, seat-edging technology, space, wellness, health, love, lust, and passion, all merging together each week here at the Hub of Happiness. Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific Time and 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Passionate Living, where you can ride on a magic carpet ride of living and learn how to lead a passionately wild, exciting, and outrageously amazing life.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
And we are back. Welcome back, everyone. Hi, Lisa. So, tell us, Lisa, I mean, among all this, what you were experiencing and going through, and I'm sure there were, a lot of external factors that must have been demotivating, or, feedback around about what you were doing. And amongst all that, how did you keep yourself motivated and shielded?
Shielding was a hard thing. That 3 years, when I look back at it now, I just think, wow, I got through that and I did it. And
there must have been a lot of judgment coming your
way. Yeah, there was a lot of judgment, a lot of, why are you doing this? Why do you think you would be good enough?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so it's, you need to really, really believe in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You need to find like-minded people.
That's so important, right?
That, know what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard thing as well, finding people that make you feel that you fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And because for such a long time, I didn't feel like I fit in. The job I was doing, I kind of felt that I was in the wrong place.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't following my dreams.
Yeah, but you had so much respect and trust within yourself, right? For yourself. And that's what made you moving. Was it ever shaken, Lisa?
Many times.
Mm-hmm.
Many times. So even with my husband, we at that period as well went through a really bad patch, and he was one of the people that didn't want me to sell my business, because
mm-hmm.
that took away his security as well.
Right. Yeah.
And my kids were worried about that as well, because it wasn't just me that I needed to worry about. It was a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
So, and, so that was a big struggle. And I think another reason it took 3 years to do that was I needed to convince them that is what I wanted to do and I could do it.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. So, but you did it. I mean, that's what is very inspiring. It's not like you didn't face those circumstances. It's just that you stuck through it. You still didn't drop your dream.
I think I always believed in me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the underlying factor that, when everyone else around you is saying that you can't do it, you need to believe, 150% that you can, that you have the abilities, that you have the determination to see it through right till the end.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I mean, you are a living example of that. I mean, pursuing your dream and staying true within yourself, staying true with yourself, and you never shrug off your responsibilities. You took care of your responsibilities, but never ever let go of that part of you who had a big dream, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not where I want to be just yet, and I'm still working towards my goals and dreams. And
it's a journey.
It's a journey, because I seem to get to one destination and then my goalpost moves.
Of course. And you are so inspiring for us. I mean, for us, you definitely are very successful, but I can totally understand, right now where you are, you definitely are capable and should be shooting for the stars, So it's very inspiring, and this is incredible. So, Lisa, and I mean, I have to share with the audience that now that you're listening to this conversation from this so much insight from this amazing woman's life. I think that's what you will also see in her book. There is a powerful message there. And I think there is a second one coming to this.
Yeah, there's a second one coming in December.
Yeah.
It's getting all the final bits and pieces. We just approved a cover yesterday, which I'm very excited
congratulations.
about. Thank you. And yeah, so that the second one, and then there'll be a third one sometime next year. I haven't finished writing that one. I'm in the process of doing that. And, we'll continue the journey of these really amazing women. And, another thing I'm trying to say in the books as well is that not everything is always happy.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has ups and downs, and, in life, you just got to pick yourself up and keep moving forward.
Right. Yeah. I think those downs come for a reason. Like you said, the wrong pieces of the puzzle. It's like a learning. It's growing.
Yeah, it's learning and growing. If you never had any problems if life was just easy, you would take everything for granted, and you really can't do that. You need to appreciate everything and be grateful for everything that you have in your life.
Right. I think that's the important thing, because all of us have received so much to be grateful for, and that's what we forget, actually.
Yes, definitely. And I think the more that you are grateful for everything that you have in life, the more you open yourself up for everything that is possible.
Right. And I think acknowledging the people who have supported you in any ways along the way, I think is huge. I think that's very important. Otherwise, we can easily just focus on the negative.
Yeah, we can easily focus on the negative, but I also want to let everyone know that, when we look at people who have reached, great positions in their lives and in the world, it's not always an easy journey.
Mm-hmm.
And, while we see, the happy side of that, you have to know that each and every one of those people had, internal demons that they needed to conquer, and have beaten them to get there.
Yeah, that's so true. That is so true.
Yeah, so, I think everyone can conquer their own demons and try and get to where they need to be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I had one more question, Lisa. So you are very inspiring. What would be your message for our budding authors, who have this dream to write? But, what is your message? How to do it? How to make it possible for them? Any tips you would like to share that any tools they can practice on a regular basis to keep them motivated and keep them moving?
Write down everything. It's like if you've got a funny story and you think, I'll remember that, you won't. Write it down. In that moment, write it down, keep your notes, because all of these situations can make funny situations in a book, or, sad situations in a book, or whatever the case may be. But, write down real life happenings, and that can inspire you to do other writing. And, practice makes perfect. So write every day. But when you're submitting to a publisher or to a distributor, make sure you're 100% happy with what you're submitting. Make sure you've gone over it 500 times to correct all the spelling, to correct all the grammar. Make sure you're happy with exactly what's going out there, and that the person reading that is going to not be focused on those mistakes.
And I think it will always change along the way. What you set your mind to start with, as you write it, it will change, right? It
Definitely.
Does.
Yeah. Like when I started off writing, it was going to be a screenplay, and then it became one.
Wow.
And then it became 3 books. So along the way, like I've always had the same start point, and I still have the same end point. Mm-hmm. But the journey of the characters evolved so much that I just went with the flow of the book. Mm-hmm. And I think if I had have tried to control that or rein it in, it wouldn't have been the same story.
Wow. Thank you so much, Lisa. It's such an honor to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, listeners. Namaste and have a blessed life.
The Real Conscious Connection. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.